person who ultimately cast Casey in the ad, give them a raise, Lululemon. Absolutely. And I think Casey is the reason that this video got a lot of viewership. You're going through the effort of creating content, then brands create custom thumbnails. They might want to consider actually testing out an ad budget for some of these pieces. Today, we are auditing Lululemon's YouTube channel. So let's see what's working, what can be improved. I'm Marlon Doll, the founder and CEO of Vireo Video. We are the leading YouTube marketing agency in North America, supporting some of the biggest brands on YouTube and helping them grow. And I want to bring over my 10 years experience of expertise to this channel and hopefully provide you with some insights for your brand to grow on YouTube. So let's pull it up. Lululemon, there we go. Type in Lulu and it pulls up. Okay, so ad, cool. Shorts, looks like I'm assuming mostly UGC shorts here. Channel shows up. So first thing, let's look at what the recent videos are and check out some of this content. Okay, so the recent videos. So they have some brand ambassadors on here that are featured. SLNH, Lewis Hamilton, and So Joan. So these videos are underperforming the average. Mind you, they are recent, so they could still perform. But Lewis Hamilton, obviously a big name, only having 20K views in the last 3 weeks. There's opportunity to improve. Right now, the thumbnail, it looks like a screen grab, but it could be improved by actually having Lewis Hamilton's face closer up. You obviously have this one where you can see the face, but there can be opportunity here to actually feature that and make it a bit more captivating. I think this one's really well done. Shows Joan McDonald looking pretty strong there. So I think that one's great and love the color choices here. So what I'm seeing is a lot of short form content, a lot of ads. So these are brand ambassadors and ad content. So a lot of these underperformed what the channel has done on an average. This one, Camille Heron, 2.5 times. So 5.7K for a brand of this size and, you know, the investment in this content, it's not a lot of viewership here. And these are more ad pieces. And so they may as well run some ad dollars. I imagine most of this is organic, but there's an opportunity to actually use these as ads or turn this into a bit longer form content to make these more interesting mini documentaries with some of these brand ambassadors. Because right now, it's just not doing it for the investment into, imagine, these partnerships and creating this content. There can be some tweaks to just the packaging to make this more captivating. Like right now, some of these aren't even passing the squint test. You know, I can read Camille Heron, but I can't actually see what that text is. If I know her more from her face, it's not obvious of who it is. So opportunity to improve these. This one here, it says, like, I can barely read that text on here. And I don't think that is a custom thumbnail. So, you know, you're going through the effort of creating content, then brands create custom thumbnails for these. Okay, I actually watched this outlier, the shockingly comfortable ABC pant. Really fun ad, and it was also filmed in Vancouver, where we are right now. Has Wayne Gretzky on the front, but you have Casey Neistat. Now, this is YouTube, and YouTube is Casey Neistat's platform. So I would have preferred to see that actually have Casey Neistat's face as the feature. Obviously, Wayne Gretzky is the legend, but Casey Neistat is the legend on YouTube. And so you could split test this, try both Casey Neistat and Wayne Gretzky, but going into the comments, I actually saw that a lot of were referencing Casey Neistat. Second comment, I'm only here because of Casey. First comment, the person who ultimately cast Casey in the ad, give them a raise, Lululemon. Absolutely, especially for content on YouTube. And I think Casey is the reason that this video got a lot of viewership. Couple for Wayne here. So worth a split test. A small percentage increase from one thumbnail to another can make a massive difference in viewership. I think thumbnails like this do a good job. Close up, expressive shot. Other ones here you can see didn't get as much viewership, but you can't really immediately tell. Like if you're scrolling on the platform, you want to immediately stop people in their tracks. And the thumbnail is largely what does that. You also have the title and credibility by how much viewership it has and the length of content and whether it's new. All of those play a role into CTR and to click-through rate, but the thumbnail largely does the majority of the heavy lifting. Okay, so looking at the overall amount of videos, there's actually not a ton of videos for a brand of this size in the last year, and most are ads. There's not really any educational, like value-based content that I can see. It's mostly ads. There is the cooling systems. Like I think that's cool. Show off some of the technology, but make it interesting to people. Like what's really interesting that you can captivate in the thumbnail and the title to actually make people want to watch. Let's check out Meet Charge Fill. This is an outlier. I want to see if this is because of ads or not. So it looks like ads were running this, but it also performed somewhat organically. You can kind of see based on the view to like ratio, and also how many comments there are for 80K views. So it doesn't really give us an indication if this was successful organically because it looks like it was run as an ad, but not a huge budget. But happy to see they're doing the other features like having a description here and leading people to the relevant product. Okay, let's see their most popular videos. So, yoga videos. 7 years ago. So this is the audience that Lululemon originally focused on, was the yoga community. And surprisingly didn't see a lot of that in the more recent videos. But these videos obviously performed really well for them, and these videos are from 4 years ago and have a significant amount of viewership. Let's see if that is organic or not. So this video, 2.3 million views in 4 years, 23K likes. So the like ratio to views checks out that it looks like a good chunk of this was actually organic, and people are still watching this video. So lots of comments. So that's great. This is the first yoga class I ever did. Now I'm a yoga instructor. So pretty influential. And what I didn't see on the channel was many videos that recently try and recapture that. What they are doing really well is on the channel homepage, you have one of the main features is still those videos from 4 years ago, Lululemon, but no recent videos in the last year. I think there's some opportunity to create some more content of what that audience originally came from and is very relevant to Lululemon's target audience. These product videos, product review videos and hauls, these were from 4 years ago as well and also did really well as outliers. Let's see if these are organic or ads. So this looks like it's a bit more of a mix between organic and advertising, at least based on the like to view ratio. There should be a lot more here. That's all right. I think it makes sense, but they also are getting lots of comments, so that's great. So obviously trying to amplify the organic reach here. And this video has continued to grow on an evergreen basis from the initial spike. I think there's even some opportunity to garner some more viewership more recently, like to get more viewership out of these older videos. So having a refresh on some of these thumbnails, it doesn't need to be done from the titles. I think there might be some small tweaks, but some thumbnail changes, maybe increase the size of the text, better show more of the movements. But it would be more to show the algorithm that there are some changes to be done to be tested here and could potentially garner more impressions, which would lead to more viewership provided people are staying and watching more of this content. I really like this on the run playlist, so that they have a series here that you can follow, like watching one after the other. This can do really well because people want to, if they've watched the first one, then they're more likely to continue the series. You'll often have the first one be more popular, but it can still be a great way to get people to watch multiple videos if they know it's a sequential series or course or training program to follow. So what I'm seeing on the channel is the content that got the most popular that people were following hasn't been touched in a couple of years, like educational value-based content. The last yoga tutorial was 3 years ago. So that definitely stands out to me that, okay, well, this content was performing really well. Why aren't we trying to reproduce that? And this content, this last one looks like is in German. If you're going to have ads where you have multiple variants of them, then have one as the main feature and then just unlist the other if you're going to run ads. Like there's no reason that you need to have a 31-second and 16-second ad because it splits the viewership and then that's less potential future viewership on the larger video. Yeah, so it looks like the last yoga videos that were done were all in German, and then potentially some running videos. So now there's some new features to be able to have voice transcriptions and to have written transcriptions that you don't need to have unique language channels or unique language content because it can all be done from one video. But there's different ways to approach this. But yeah, the outliers, the content that performed really well, just there isn't that for 4 years, and so see an opportunity there. Obviously, people had great praise in the comments, so that's one of the most standout things that I see for the channel. Shorts are opportunity to have the first touch point with the potential customer or to repurpose some of the existing content. I see a little bit of that, some native content, which is great, some UGC content, but this should have a lot more viewership than what it is for shorts. Okay, Casey Neistat, 24K. So these are starting to get a bit more into the more popular. So let's see one of the more popular ones. I think this is great. It shows what the product is. It gives you a bit of a hack and insight, and it obviously did well in terms of viewership. Okay, let's look at posts. So posts is like a community post feature. It was called community post. Now it's just called posts. Looks like the last one was 4 years ago. It is linking to the video. So opportunity to re-engage here. They might have stopped prioritizing it because it wasn't getting enough comments versus the effort to create it, but you can repurpose from other social platforms. And there's ways to get people to actually engage here. Good way to engage the community that currently looks like it's being underutilized. Posts has also evolved. So one of the things that posts we're now seeing are that they're showing up not to just subscribers, but people that may be interested in that content. So we've seen it show up at the top of YouTube and close to suggested videos. So other ways that you can tap into your audience. Let's see what they're doing for ads currently. So in the last 365 days, it's estimated at 24 million. I'm not sure how accurate that is with this tool, but they obviously are spending money on ads. Some of the creatives, the Lululemon Align collection, looks like these were just published. But again, sometimes I think this can be skewed. So don't quote on the 24 number because that can also include some videos that are also run as ads, also get organic traffic. So some of the main things that I'm seeing, opportunity to improve some of the packaging. Some of the videos don't actually have thumbnails or could better feature the ambassador that they're creating, or if there's yoga content, better featuring the movements or increasing the text size so it's actually legible, passes the squint test on YouTube. The other main thing that I'd like to see less of is less just ad content. I think these make for potentially great videos and could be improved by making these more interesting documentary type videos for these ambassadors. There's other ways to get those videos to be more interesting. There's no real edutainment, like value-based content that Lululemon used to get a lot of audience growth from, which was a lot of the yoga educational videos, the tutorials, and it showed in the comments of how much people were rewatching this content or how it was their first touch point with Lululemon. So I think there's a big opportunity there to recapture some of that and do a new version of that, whether that's a 2025 version or 2026, but opportunity to improve that content. There's also some opportunity to use some of the YouTube features that aren't currently being utilized, like the community posts and end screens and cards, to actually get people to watch more of the videos that they're interested in. And seeing that some of these videos are ads, like these brand ambassador videos and the shorter form pieces of content, they might want to consider actually testing out an ad budget for some of these pieces. So for Lululemon, I'm going to give them a 7. It looks like they had a higher score before. They were doing YouTube a bit better before. Now it's mostly advertising content And so there's just a lot of opportunity for Lululemon to really engage with the community and create content that is a bit more value based. So I can see a lot of opportunity. Obviously, a great brand doing some great things, but there's some better opportunities for creating really cool content pieces that provide value to the audience. If you got some value from this, we have some more roasts or audits that you can check out. And if you want your brand or no brand that you think I should audit, send me an email or write a comment down below or hit us up on our website. Thanks for watching.